I've been lucky to have come from a city that's sort of known as a sports city, so there's been a lot of opportunities for different sports.
I think that Sheffield does a great job of having events.
It's a city of high participation in sport. I think a lot of that came from the student games.
Situated in the heart of England, the city of Sheffield hosted the Summer University Games of 1991. And even though student sport has always been strong here, the project was a bold challenge. The Games were seen as a catalyst for urban renewal.
And we were looking how we could actually regenerate the economy of Sheffield and South Yorkshire. And one of the ideas at that time was to use sport as a regenerator, as sport as a wealth creator as well. And that really was the thinking behind our application.
The fundamental thing was the economic development due to building the facilities, then inviting people to our great city so that people understood that Sheffield was a city that was interested in development, interested in growth, and not a city that was in decline.
With a great atmosphere and thousands of local volunteers on hand, it was a huge moment for Sheffield and for the Secretary-General of British Universities at that time.
We brought a very British tradition of technical organisation of sport and involving national governing bodies, the international federations, and it created a formula and a model which enabled this sport to run very well, and FISU liked that model.
On July the 14th, the 16th Summer Universiade began, with more than 3,300 athletes from 101 countries taking part. There were 11 sports on the programme, and it all came together as planned.
It worked very hard with FISU to ensure that the values of FISU were incorporated into all the plans, and the development of the city to cope with and to deliver the Universiade has left a legacy that is still here today.
More than 20 years later, Ponds Forge is still one of the premier swimming venues in the UK. Megan Sylvester was junior European champion last year. Right now she has a shoulder injury and she's doing her rehab here. The physical education student wants to go to the Summer Universiade of Kazan, and Ponds Forge is the ideal place to prepare for it.
They're all great facilities, they're all getting used, and like young athletes are coming through using them, and we've just got a great base here in Sheffield.
Ellie Faulkner was brought up locally and inspired by the Olympic medalist Rebecca Adlington. She's studying sports development and coaching at Sheffield Hallam University and has a scholarship which allows her to combine her training and studying.
The university support me greatly. They give a support scheme for athletes of at elite level, and I'm on that scheme at the minute where they fund us for camps, things like that, and help us to buy the things that we weren't able to buy without their money, should we say.
The 1991 venues, Ponds Forge, Don Valley Stadium and Motorsport Arena, have all played their part in Sheffield's impressive track record, delivering major sporting events. But the city wanted 2 more world-class venues.
We were very positive about the future. We built new facilities, and those facilities have been used ever since. So there's been a lot of sports participation, sports development, and ongoing economic development from those facilities.
Ice Sheffield was built in 2003. It's a flexible venue hosting judo and gymnastics as well as ice sports. The English Institute of Sport, the EIS, was also built in 2003. An impressive multi-sports venue and the home of Great Britain's boxing team, which picked up 3 gold medals at the London Olympics. Nicola Adams made history as the first female Olympic champion, and it was here that she trained for the gold.
We've got lots of good talent, and it's a place where we can get all the athletes together, and we can all train under one roof. We can all learn from each other, and you know, we've got running tracks, we've got strength and conditioning rooms, we've got everything we need. It's fantastic. It's one of the best gyms I've seen.
Anthony Joshua only started boxing in 2008, but less than 4 years later, he would beat the Italian Olympic champion, Roberto Camarelli, to take the super heavyweight title at the London Olympics. The coaches of the EIS had helped him on his way to that title.
Before, I was a bad boxer. I've been here for maybe 16 months, 15 months before the Olympics, and I was like, I used to box like this. And now they made me box up and nice shots. But before, like, my hands were here, I was low, and then I was very inexperienced. And then, because I was around the best boxers here, I started to learn and gain experience. So this has been brilliant for my building up to becoming champ.
For Will Bailey, the English Institute of Sport is vital. Will got the silver medal in table tennis at the London Paralympics. For him, the EIS is a world-class venue.
I can't ask for anything more. I come into training every day and think it's special to be here. I'm very privileged to be able to train here.
Nick Matthews is a double world champion in squash. He's benefited from the support of his coach and the staff of the English Institute of Sport. He's trained here since the building opened and hopes that the staff can help prolong his career for a few more years yet.
We have psychology, we have physio, we have massage treatment, we have video analysis, so you analyse the matches. There's so many different parts of the game that they help you with. And if you can get better, I think from maybe when I was 18 till now, I've probably got 50% better in all of those areas. And you couldn't have done it without the expertise of that staff. You can't do it alone.
Sheffield Hallam University has sports-related places for 1,500 students, with research centres which are world leaders in their fields. The university's been credited with assisting Team GB in achieving all those Olympic medals at London 2012.
As part of the academy, we have 3 world-class research centres. The first one in sport engineering, Centre for Sport and Engineering Research. We have our Centre for Sport and Exercise Research, which is involved with the body and services and research into elite performance, but also physical activity. And also we have a third research centre, which is our oldest centre in actual fact, that is focused on economic impact evaluations, the Sport Industry Research Centre.
The Don Valley Stadium is to be closed as part of cost-cutting measures by the City Council, but new plans for the Don Valley Olympic Legacy Project have been unveiled. The £40 million proposal will once again propel Sheffield forward in the world of sport and health.
And we took the view that not only did we want sport in the stadium, but we also wanted to address the agendas of the 21st century about the wellness in communities.
Sheffield has great opportunities through its sports facilities in terms of the welfare, healthcare and fitness of its citizens, all part of the legacy of the University Games.
And I think what is pleasing now, some 20-odd years on, is that Sheffield, as an industrial city, as the 4th, 5th largest city in the United Kingdom, is probably one of the most physically active cities as well.
In the second half of the 20th century, Sheffield had suffered badly with the loss of the local steel and coal industries, but the vision of bringing sport to the city in a big way has helped enormously.
It's the economic and visitor economy we have created. Major events now are a regular thing for our city because of these facilities. And also now we have over 700 companies who are involved in sport and leisure in the region. So this is big business. Over £2 billion a year for this region is sport, leisure and tourism. And 20 years ago, that wasn't here.
The attraction of the university grew considerably after the 1991 World Games. Students came to Sheffield because they knew they could compete and work on their sport alongside their academic studies.
When you speak to FISU about legacy, Sheffield will always be one of the hosting cities where they will say, you only have to look at Sheffield and see how that area in South Yorkshire has been transformed as a consequence of the World Student Games.
The International University Sports Federation, the World Student Games in Sheffield, have left the best possible example of a legacy.